Hi everyone. Um, I was trying to rest my head when I thought about virtual environment, especially for Python users. And so I decided to do a tutorial on virtual environment basically. And I thought to myself to share some of my knowledge of virtual environments and basically the ones I know, what is popular and the ones I know. And so I'll start with what a virtual environment is. So a virtual environment is like a shell um, where you keep things as you know it. So if you want things to behave as you know it, um, you actually use a virtual environment. So let me explain what that means. And so basically, let's say you have um, your setup, your table setup, where your PCs are. You have where your book and your pen and maybe your cup where you sip um, some form of a drink like water or any kind of soft drinks, and you like to keep things where they are supposed to be, and every time you come back to your workstation you want to see things where they're supposed to be, and you really get upset where whenever you come and find things are not where they're supposed to be. The virtual environment is more or less like you, maybe before you leave your workstation, maybe in your little office space, you have a key, you set up your things and you lock the door. And so the world keeps going on, but your setup remains the same thing. So that's basically what I would term a virtual environment. So in technical terms, is you have different libraries or tools you want to use, and each of them comes with a different version. So you install these tools in your virtual environment to make sure that um, everything stays nice and cozy at that particular point in time. And so you end up having um, your virtual environment, the tools installed in your virtual environment, looking different from your global environment, which is your local machine. So let me give us paint a scenario. So I do have my command prompt which I'm going to shoot up, and so I would say Python and just check the version. So I have 3.12.7 installed, and yeah, and so if I say pip freeze, I think I'll get um some of the tools I've installed on my PC, and so I do have I think oh, I didn't know I installed this globally. This is interesting, and this is not supposed to be installed on my local machine, but for some reason it did. And so I have a list of libraries I've installed. Um, we have UV, which is also a virtual environment. I think I would have oh, I don't have the installed virtual env. I think I have poetry. I don't know, is it here? It's not here. But I have poetry as a virtual environment. So these when I do pip freeze, I'm just going to see everything that Python based library I've installed on um my local machine. And so let's say I want to run a program, for instance. Let me go to a particular folder where hmm, I think I'll just go to. Yeah, maybe create a folder for virtual environments, and I'll create another folder called poetry. Then maybe create another folder called UV, and maybe peeps VENV. And so now I want to work on this folder, maybe run a Python program, and I do not want to use any of the libraries in what I've pre-installed on my local machine. I want to create a cocoon, or an ideal spot where I can install um, my libraries I want to use without any problems. So basically, I'm just going to shoot up terminal, and let's see. I am going to say so this is my directory of my VMV, which is, as you can see, on my PowerShell. So I'll say I think it is virtual env, and oh, I think I'm supposed to say forgotten, right? Because I don't use that often. Oh, okay, so to use Python's package manager, which is pip, um, it has a virtual environment library which is called venv. So I'll say py dash m I think it's venv. Then I'll call the name of my um, virtual environment. Let's just say I'll say installing install venv. Yep, and it's going to take some time, and you can see the folder has been created. And so when I'm done, I can then activate my um, virtual environment and then start installing my libraries in it. And so as you can see that it's done installing, and let's just say I want to check what is in my virtual environment. I can see that it has installed something. So for me to activate it, I have to navigate to I think this activate .bat file, I think. So in order for me to do that, what I'm just going to do is just to call the name of my virtual environment. I'll do /scripts, and no, sorry, supposed to be / or backward slash, then activate. Then it is going to activate my virtual environment. Then I can decide to do any kind of installation. So for instance, I can install the Django web framework. I'll just say pip install Django, and I'm done. And it's just going to take some time, and it's just going to install Django, which is a very pretty awesome framework. So it is done downloading, and it is installing. And the Django web framework comes with some other libraries. This is an asynchronous gateway interface. I think this is for, because Django is an ORM, which is the object relational mapping. So what it does is you write Python code, and it automatically um, create a relational database for you, basically SQLite, and you can actually use other um, relational database for installation, which is Postgres, MySQL, Microsoft SQL Server, and so on and so forth. So when I'm done, I can just say Django-admin, and I'll say version, and it then gives me the Django version, which is 5.2. And so I'll try using a different let me go to the other folders in this my main virtual environment folder and go to poetry. Now poetry is in a newer virtual environment, and I cannot remember the version, but let me just open a terminal here and navigate to that particular directory. Okay. Also, what I'm just going to do is a poetry version. Let me see the version I have. I don't think I've updated my version in a very long time. And okay, so I have 1.8.4. So I think I have 1.8.4 installed, and so I'm going to use poetry. So if you actually want to install poetry, so you can install poetry in your local machine by actually going to poetry, depending on the OS you are using. If you are using Windows like I am, there is a command for installing poetry, and if you are using Linux or Mac, there is also a command for it. Also, the site is taking time to open, maybe because of my internet. But I'll share the command for both um, Linux and Windows. So if I want to actually do an installation, the first thing I'm just going to do for poetry, which is, I think when I started using Python, specifically Django, I was introduced to poetry, and I kind of liked it for a very long time. I still like it. So in order for me to um, in, to start using poetry, I'll just go to my directory where I want to use it, open the command prompt and say poetry init, so initialize or initiate, and it's going to create it will create a pi project.toml file for me, where I'll have anything I actually installed will be stored there. And so it's asking me for a package name. I'll just say poetry as the package name. You can enter your version description. This is a tutorials on installing poetry, or using poetry rather, using poetry as a virtual environment. um, yes, I'm the author. License, you can enter a license. For this, I'm just going to skip it. I'm compatible with my Python version, which is 3.12. Would you like your main dependencies interactive? No. Would you like to define? No, I would not. You confirm generation? Oh yes, I do. And so when I'm done, you can see my my project.toml file here. And if I go to VS Code, I can actually so let me just say code. I think it's .code or code. Yeah, I'm going to shoot up my VS Code in this particular project directory. And so, my okay. I think I'm supposed to say dot code. So to be dot code. No, oh, sorry, that was a mistake. Let me just cancel it. It is going to waste my time, wouldn't it? Again, I ran a very so cancel this. Yeah, so I'll say I think it's dot code and it's going to okay. You think that it will run yeah, so I think it's dot space then code. It's going to open oh, this is interesting. It does anywho I'll just navigate to this particular actually supposed to open Visual Studio and inclusive of the directory, but funny that it isn't, which is I can't remember what happened or what's happening. Well, cool. So, so if I click on my Pi project.toml file, I can see some of the config there. And so let's say I want to activate my Poetry virtual environment. I'll just say Poetry shell. Again, I think this is why I like Poetry. Then it's going to activate my Poetry shell. It will create a virtual environment for me without me having to do that, and it's going to cache it in this particular directory here, and it will give it a name. So basically this Poetry, I don't know what this is, but I'm assuming it's something. Then this is Python 3.12. So I think okay, so it has created it for me, and then I can start doing my installation. So this time around I'm not just going to install Django, I'll just say Poetry. So if I want to do any installation of any library, I'll just say Poetry add, and I'm just going to say Django, I think 4. 4.5. Yeah, things we are. Oh, I would have just easily said 5.0. Oh, I'm supposed to wrap it up in a inverted comma, if I remember correctly. So I'll say Django equal to, let's just say 5.0. Then I think it's going to work now. So if you notice, in the first installation I just did a pip install Django and it installed the latest version of Django. So but this now I'm doing a 5.0 instead of a 5.2 version, and it's going to install the 5.0 version for me. And so the main buzzwords like version control, we actually use virtual environment for version control. So basically what they mean by version control, the library I'm installing, what version. So this is 5.0 and this is 5.2, and so it is installing. It's kind of going to take some time to install. While it is trying to install, we'll then go to the third folder, which is UV, and UV is the latest virtual environment package manager on the block, or library manager on the block. It is built in Rust, and I think they built it for speed based on the what you are seeing on their page. You can see So the pip does, in terms of, I think, not installing, but in terms of running your programs in the virtual environment, it takes about 4.63. Poetry is 0.99, and UV is 6 seconds, which is, I think, pretty interesting. Like I said, built in Rust. So you can see a single tool to replace pip, pip tools, pipex, and these are all cool virtual environments package managers. And so if you actually want to do an installation, if you want to install UV, you actually this is the command you are going to use, and to you just copy and paste it in um, your command prompt or PowerShell. I think you should paste it in PowerShell, and it is actually going to do installation for you now. Now, in order for me to actually activate my UV, so what I'm just going to say is UV init. It's going to initialize UV. As you can see, it has created git ignore a main.py file, which actually created a py project.toml and a readme. And I think if I go to, okay, so let me go here and open folder. I'll just navigate to this new folder. Click on select folder, and you can see some of the things it has installed, pre-installed for me. It has given me the version, so it's kind of works like Poetry too. So with the py project.toml file, this is just for the program to run. That's the UV package manager or virtual environment to run. This is my Python version, and your git ignore, where you can actually do a lot of ignoring of files and folders here. So when I'm done initializing, I'll just see. So if in order for me to do installation, it's basically pip install and whatever it is I want to install. So install, let's say Django 4.8. So I'll just put it in comma. I'll just say equal, the double equal to, and 4.8. Oh, and I'm going to just add UV in front of before I start typing pip, and when I'm done, I'll just click on, oh sorry, I was supposed to initialize the virtual environment before I do any kind of installation, and it just creates. So instead of it to automatically start doing installation, so if I use pip, it automatically, I think it will automatically do that, but for UV it will not. It will prompt that I create my virtual environment first. So for me to do that, I'll just say UV VENV and name the name of my virtual environment. So I'll just say UV ENV, and I'll just say, so this is the name of my virtual environment. This is telling UV that I actually want to create my virtual environment using VNV, and it has created my folder for me, which is pretty fast. And so in order for me to activate, this is what I'll just type. Again, I'll just copy. So the name of my oh, this is weird. You think it should copy. Oh yeah, so, and the name of the virtual environment, then go to script, then go to activate, and I'll just activate. I click on enter, and then I can then do my UV. Now this time around I want to install 4.8, Django 4.8. which is an older version. I'll just click on enter and it will start. Oh, so it's saying that because there is no version this, you and you require this. I think there's 4.8. Is that not? Let me see. Django's version. Really, is there 4.8? That's really interesting then. Okay, so let me check Django's. Let me just check Django to see. Don't mind the library I'm actually installing. You can install different libraries. You don't have to install Django. Django is just first thing that came to my head. So let me see. So this is the latest release. Let me see. I think there used to be different iterations of it. I go to. Let me just go to documentation. Then you would have clicked here. Also, I have Oh, so these are different. Oh, so we only have there's no 4.8. So it is so 1.8. So on and so forth until 4.2, then 5.0. So I think there's a 4.2, so I'll just install 4.2. So my bad. I thought there was a 4.8. I would have sworn there was a 4.8. Now, so it is installing. Now, for my poetry, Django has finished installing. And now if I want to check the version of Django I've installed, I'll just say Django-admin. Again, you can install any library. You don't have to install Django. And I'm going to see 5.0. And so which is different from when I used just pips VENV to do my installation. So I get 5.2, and for poetry I install 5.0 just to check the version of the Django library I installed, which is 5.0. And so um, UV is actually trying to download the Django package and will install it for me to take a while. My internet is a bit, it sucks this evening. So the Django version 4.2 has been installed using the UV virtual environment package manager. And so what I can then do is to say just check the version, and I'm then going to see this. So just for more confirmation, I am going to create a project, and start project. I would say UV. Let us say project, and I'll create it for every other virtual environment that I use. I would say so this would be VENV project. Again, you can name it anything. You don't have to use what I'm using. I just wanted to go further to show us the different Django version that I've installed, and I'll just see this will be maybe poetry underscore project. So I think I'm just going to I'll do a cd into VENV underscore project, and I would run my server. I think I would run it on port. Let's just say 8800. Um, hopefully it runs. Oh, it's running on 8800. I'll do the same thing for this guy. For the poetry, I'll run it on. Yeah, I'll just leave it run on the default port. And the last one, I would say pi manage.pi. I would say run server on a different port. I would say, let's say 8100. And I'm then going to open my browser. I would so let's see, localhost. There will be 8000. Going to copy this because I'm so lazy. And so I can see that I have the 5.0 version, which is the one I installed um, on Poetry. Now let me use a different so lazy, I would say it okay, so this is on port 8800, which is the version I installed on the Pips VENV, which is the latest Django version, which you can see here, 5.2. And the last one is oh, this is something else. So I'm just going to paste it and just change the port number, and I'm going to see 4.2. So basically I've installed 3 different iterations of Django: the 5.2, the 4.2, and the 5.0 on different virtual environments. And so this is the basis of what they call version control. If you hear version control, it's because of the help of virtual environment. So if I then go to my one prompt, I do pip freeze just to check the packages that is existing on my local directory. I would not see Django installed on it, and that's because I didn't install it on my local environment. I installed it in a virtual environment, and I've installed 3 different iterations of Django as a framework. Again, Django is just a library. You can install anything. So you can install Jupyter Lab if you want. Mm, I can actually install a whole lot of things. If I remember correctly, this is Prefect I installed in a different virtual environment. So let me just show you guys quickly. This is just this is by the way. So Prefect, it's an orchestration library used for building ETL pipelines. Let me see. Okay, so this is Prefect here. So, oh, interesting. So it is still running. Oh, it is still running. Is it trying to shut down? Yikes. And so I actually installed it in a virtual environment. I think Poetry. Oh no, I used UV for it. Yeah, I'm surprised it's still running. Isn't that interesting? Not supposed to be running, but I'm surprised it is still running. Okay, I think I've stopped the server. So basically, I used UV to actually run Prefect here, and You can use you. I think I don't know how to check the version for prefect, but I'm curious now. I think I'll just say prefect and I'll say dash dash version. And let me see if it has a version. Um, the prefect is like Airflow, Luigi, and all other um, pipeline orchestration framework that they used to build ETL pipeline and schedule events and so on. So I don't think this works, but I'm hoping it does. Oh, it does work. So I have like the 3.3.7. So I use UV to actually install Prefect. Anywho, so you can actually use um these three different virtual environment. I think you can also use VENV. I don't exactly know if I have it installed here. I only have UV. So the virtual ENV is also a very good um, virtual environment package manager as well. You can actually use. So if you guys have any questions, you can hit me up. I'll share a link to this particular video. You can ask me any questions within the realm of Python, SQL, Excel. I think Power BI. What else? Yeah, basically that. And any other thing you think I might be able to help you out in, um, share a link to my YouTube channel. Like and subscribe and share to others if you find the content interesting. Um, with that, I would say thank you very much and take care. Have one.